The one thing that stuck out to me the most about this whole David and Celeste Rivas case is that it almost seemed like he had a system to groom little girls. It always started from Fortnite and it passed over into Discord. And it got me thinking, like, I wonder if I could find the first time Celeste Rivas was added to the Discord. Because remember, her body was found in 2025, but they were, playing video games and communicating with each other way back from 2022. So I thought, what if I can find the first message between David and Celeste? And I think I found it. So I want to take things back to around 2022 when David was very active in his Discord. Okay, David was talking to all the people under 18 years old. And it's proof of that because the notion of people being a minor or people being feds or people trying to avoid jail due to underage situations is a very common occurrence in this chat. It's a very common topic in this chat even before Celeste showed up, right? So we see David over here communicating with all the underages, talking until one fateful day where Celeste is added to the Discord. Now, again, we don't know if this is the actual Celeste, but I'm 98% sure that this is her. Now, mind you, the David account and all the stuff that he's been doing in current time has been deleted, but we still can see the trail that's left behind. So let's check this out. Now, the first thing that I want to point out to you guys is the deleted David account so we understand what's happening. The account no longer exists. It's been removed from the Discord, but it has a symbol that I want you guys to recognize when David's actually speaking. Let me show you what it looks like. Whenever you see the cat with the little red nose or the little red hang up button over the account, that's David's account, okay? Every time this account is active, that's actually David talking in the Discord. Now, the first time we ever hear about Celeste, she says this. The person named Celeste on 10/23/2022 at 8:13 p.m. says, bark. Okay. Now, before we even continue, look at this profile. Doesn't this profile ring a bell to you? Doesn't this profile picture also ring a bell to you guys? Listen, the pieces are coming together. This was Celeste's profile, I'm pretty sure. But anyways, it says bark. And we all know that David Burke is his actual name. We continue down and we look for Celeste's name. And she @s David. She says at D4vd at 8:13. So she's still trying to get his attention. Mind you, we have a lot of chaos happening in the general chat. We have skulls. People are talking about music. It says, bro, you didn't hear that, Travis. Someone saying to email each other. People are talking to each other constantly in this chat, but David responds to her specifically when she @s him, right? So let's go further down. She @s David, and he responds to her. It says one message removed from a suspended account. So we don't know what David actually said to her, but he responded 1 minute later. She responds back, hi, David Bark. And I will say, it always seems as though Celeste is trying to make herself known amongst the other people. Let's just say, for lack of better words, amongst the other girls. And why wouldn't she? He's a pop star. He's famous. She wants him to herself. So, she's going to @ him. She's going to put his name in full caps. It's attention, and it's working. Let's keep going. Somebody types, my fucking keyboard is broken. Somebody says, yerp. And then Celeste comes back into chat. She says, I just joined, LOLs. Ladies and gentlemen, at this juncture right here, I believe this is the point where David indoctrinated her into the religion of the D4vd Discord. He pulled her in and he said, this is your home now. I think this is the first time he met her on the Fortnite, probably got a number or something, and he added her to the safe place. She says, I just joined, LOL. Someone says, same here. Somebody responds, okay. Then somebody else responds by adding David. Now, that's the first interaction that Celeste has with David, and she's very friendly with him already. Like, they have a really good rapport. Now, let's keep going. That was the first instance. I want to show you another instance. We've I've broken this down in order. So this happened around 10/23/2022, right? Let's move forward into 1/6/2023. So this is going to be the next year. She's been in the Discord. They've been having this conversation. They've been mingling for some time now. Let's check this out. Let's move forward. Now, this doesn't have much to do with Celeste, but it has more to do with the energy inside of the chat room, right? So I just want to read you guys a few back and forths between just random people on the Discord to give you an understanding the age group of these people. It's always been an assumption that these people in this Discord were underage. Listen, 90% of the people on this shit, guaranteed, factual, were MINORS. Okay, let me check this. Let me just show you a random back and forth. Right? Someone says need games. Somebody responds, who wants me? JK. Deleted user says, I'm taking the baby with me. Sleepy responds, unless. They start talking back and forth. The same person who said they need games, they say to play. Please recommend games, good games. Then they continue. Somebody says Fortnite. They gave them some names. They gave them some options. And somebody comes down here and replies to Sleepy and says, hey, talk to Marley. My bro, get her snap. And this is where things start getting interesting. The person responds saying she's going to catch a case. I'm a minor. Deleted user responds, how old are you? Josh responds with a skull emoji like, oh shit, oh boy. Then somebody responds and says, I don't know. I like something like Celeste. And I'm not sure if he's saying she's around Celeste's age or if they're talking about a video game character, but Celeste's name pops up there around the word minor. So I just had to include that, right? Sleepy responds to how old are you by saying not 18. Then deleted user responds saying, are you 16? And then they just go back and forth about age. And then everybody starts just offering up information. Lily comes into the chat saying, I'm 16. Deleted user says, well, I'm 18, so I'm good. And then more and more people come in. Some people are 16. Some people are 17. Some people are 12 in this Discord, ladies and gentlemen. 12. 12. Okay, so we got 12-year-olds, 11-year-olds, all types of shit going on. But let's move forward. I just want to set an idea of what the age group was in this Discord. I believe that Celeste was probably of the older children in this Discord that David so fondly interacted with. Now let's keep going. So now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to move into the year of 2024, right? This would be 8/15/2024. So this is still before Celeste's body was found in David's trunk. But there is a specific thing that's happening around this time. Celeste goes missing. Not when she went missing to where, you know, we find her in the trunk in the impound yard. Celeste goes missing very often. At this point of time in 2024, on 8/15, people already knew that Celeste was going missing and that it was because of David. People already knew that they're doing cooking live streams in David's house. So let me show you this. Let me show you this part. So that same individual that seems to be wanting to protect David by any means possible, the individual S says L David. And I think this person changed their name. S used to be a full name. It was like Sora or Scylla or some shit like that. This person changed their name, probably because they don't want to be exposed. So they say L David. Deleted user says, oh man. And then we go down and we figure out what they're saying L David about. Deleted user says to a response that David had said, drop the one with the missing girl, Celeste Rivas Hernandez. He dropped her full name in the Discord on 8/15/2024. Everybody knew about this girl. I'm not sure if they knew her age, but everybody knew about this girl to the point that they knew she was dating David and they knew her full name. So you can't come to AG Tactical and be like, hey, you know, there was a different Celeste. There was an older Celeste that David knew. Yeah, he did know an older Celeste, but not when somebody in his chat is saying, drop the one with the missing girl, Celeste Rivas Hernandez. That's a full fucking name, including the middle. Okay? Now, they're replying to something David said. Look at this. It says, one message removed from suspended account. So all I can assume, let me go back to it. Oh shit. All I can assume what this is David's dropping a sneak peek of music, right? And they're making a joke saying, why don't you drop the information about that missing girl, Celeste Rivas Hernandez? Man, this shit is crazy. David never responds. Well, let's move forward. You have a few other people kind of just ignore what he's saying, having their own conversation. Deleted user says again to David. They respond to David again. David's not responding to them. He says at D4vd, I'm snitching. Then somebody else just kind of, again, ignores what he's saying. David, can we get a collab with Min0rs? And then from there, they just kind of pummel over what this deleted user is saying. But that one deleted user, listen to me, that one deleted user was onto something way before anybody else. Let's move forward, right? Let's keep it going. This is where shit gets even weirder, bro, because now we move on to 7/16/2025. So this is a month before Celeste was found. I want to show you what this person had to say about it. So we start here, and there's a person named Crypt. They say, bro, I'm going to get marked. And there's always this type of rhetoric happening in David's server, like, oh, the police are going to come for you. Oh, they're going to check your hard drive. Oh, I'm marked because, you know, just weird humor about PDF fileism very often goes on in this chat. So it's just a regular day. Somebody says, bro, I'm going to get marked. Somebody responds, who is Kelly? I keep hearing the name, but don't remember them at all. And mind you, David was messing with other girls. Skylar responds to that saying, I'm not sure. Celeste is Team David too. Will says, I know of them. Skylar responds, I haven't spoken to either or seen them in chat. Will responds, so is Kristen, I believe, not directly, but, oh wait, he says, so is Kristen, I believe, directly, but I'm not sure how he's, so is Kristen, I believe, not directly, but, so they're trying to figure out who these two girls are, right? Kelly, Kristen, and Celeste. Apparently all these girls are Team David. They fuck with David, right? Let's continue. David comes into this conversation and responds. We don't know what he says. Crip says, thank you, twin. And then if we go down, deleted user comes back around and responds to Celeste's Team David too. Deleted user says, I think Celeste was one of his girlfriends. Then Skylar responds to the person thinking that Celeste was one of David's girlfriends, saying, we should probably double check that if she has Team David, crying face. Then deleted user comes back and says, I think she was the one he did that cooking stream with. Somebody responds, an ex. Viper comes into the conversation and they're like, listen, bro. I guess I'm starting to understand that people weren't really ringing the whistle in this Discord chat because everybody in this Discord chat was around Celeste's age. So it's a lot harder for people, I guess, to realize that something wrong is happening because, one, there's this big famous guy who talks to you every once in a while. He actually engages with you, and you're a kid. So, you know, who are you to say that he's doing something wrong? That's what it's seeming like because all these people knew who Celeste was. You know, Viper, deleted user, Bailey, Will, you know, all these random characters, they knew her full name. Mind you, all this information that we're covering today is a timeline from when Celeste joined the Discord to right before her body was found. This has nothing to do with when her body was actually found because conversation changes really quickly and it turns into people saying, oh, well, I knew the whole time. No, there were people who actually knew the whole time before the body was even discovered. They knew this girl's whole entire name. Full name. Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Shit is crazy. But you guys let me know what you think in the comments, man. I think I was actually able to find the first time Celeste joined this Discord, and that was in 2022. And she was a big fan, just happy to be there. But anyways, folks, I'm going to keep my eyes on this, man. There's supposed to be more information coming out on the end of the month, so we'll see what happens. Until then, folks, stay inside, stay safe, man. I love y'all. I'm out of here. Peace.